Hey guys, so welcome to the New Paradigm Intimacy Temple. I want to talk to you a little bit about witnessing. So there's a few stages to the self-pleasure modality, and I kind of want to share a little bit about where you're going to open to through the practice of witnessing. So in this first part of the course, you're just going to do one a week of being witnessed inside of your self-pleasure practice. And often, actually part of this experience of coming into being witnessed is actually recognizing what comes up in your body when you start to feel that. So just start to actually just notice, even as I just shared, like, okay, so you're going to be witnessing your self-pleasure practice, like start to feel what comes up in your body, because this is actually the call to temple. So when we're called to temple, we actually come closer to a threshold where transformation takes place. And a lot of the transformation is actually taking place on the lead up and the walking towards that temple door. That experience of like, okay, am I going to do this? Do I want to do this? What does this mean? Who am I if I actually do this? Like, what will I be seen in? You know, what's going to happen? Who's going to be there? How are they going to react if I'm in this experience? Like, all of the mind just opens up into this understanding of like, what even does that mean? You know, and the beauty of this modality is actually that we have done most of the work with the client before they've even come through the temple door. So this is the same for you as well. It's like when you're coming into that experience, noticing what words and ideas and feelings are coming up inside of your mind before you come to that experience of doing your self-pleasure practice. And then when you come into being witnessed, actually recognizing what witnessing is. So for me, the practice of being witnessed in your self-pleasure is the understanding that self-pleasure is not masturbation. Self-pleasure can be, you can be wearing your clothes, or you could be wearing nothing at all. You can touch your genitals, or you can not touch your genitals at all. All we're doing is actually being witnessed in our in being in our process of letting our thoughts go down to our emotions come down to our feelings, and our feelings come down to our sensations. And then once we checked in with the sensation, we're coming into the sound, breath, movement, and touch, and communicating with the sensations through those tantric tools. And being in that experience can actually be, even if we don't take our clothes, like the most ones that are most emotionally fueled and most intense have been the ones that I've seen where people don't take their clothes off and they don't touch their genitals. Because when you actually have to be with your sexuality without doing any of what we deem to be sexual, that can be actually some of the most vulnerable, beautiful space that you can enter into. So yeah, the invitation is actually just allow yourself to be with everything that comes up on the journey as you're coming closer to that session, and actually sit in that session. And what you'll usually find is whatever you're projecting or thinking it's going to be like when you sit in that experience, it's totally different. And the same for the other way around, you know, like so many people have stuff come up with like, oh my God, I'm going to witness someone in their self-pleasure. What if they do this? What if they do that? You know, and my piece with that is like recognizing that it's that we're actually journeying what it's like to actually be in our bodies in a world where sex has been like thrust upon us from such a young age, you know, like through magazines, through needing to, you know, wear makeup or show up in a certain way, or, you know, have all these abilities to be sexy, to be something the media wants us to be. And really a lot about the work of self-pleasure modality is unpacking and unsticking all that is not our sexuality to come into the relationship that is our sexuality. So we're always just being with our eros and coming back to where is our life in this, as our life force energy in this moment. So if you simply do that and just come into it with that simplicity of just here to be with my life force energy in this moment, that's all you need to do. It's that simple. Anything else that I want to share on witnessing? Just that we're going to do this, you're going to do like one a week every single week. I really ask that you stay connected to being accountable for that time. If like, I actually put a list of priorities somewhere around like how to engage with this course. And one of the top ones is actually sitting and doing this witnessing practice. And this is where you have to be accountable for your own learning journey, and really like reach out to the other people in the course and people that have done the course previously and be like, hey, I really want to do a witnessing session. Can you jump on with me? And really like lock those in. if I were in your position, I would be going, right, who am I doing witnessing with this month? And I would just book 4 people in my calendar over the month, you know, and setting up at your own calendar and sending out the link to people so they can book in when you have the free time is an awesome way to actually get that scheduling piece done. I feel like scheduling is probably the biggest burden of the actual experience. Like once you're there, it's just like, okay, cool, now we're in the temple, you know? But notice if you are having struggles with the scheduling, that can also be a representative of avoiding actually coming closer to that threshold of the temple. So yeah, just tracking those pieces. Accountability, stepping through that. Really, this is a really like a high priority task, doing the actual self-pleasure witnessing, because this is what's actually going to build up your confidence. And once we've gone through this first term, when we go into the next term, we step into something a little bit different, which is more around the guiding. So when you're witnessing, the whole way this modality works is for you to be in the experience of holding unconditional love, basically, for the person that you are, for the client. And the way I describe this to people is like, the more you clear up all that stuff that's in the way of your eros and your life force, and you come into the fullness of your sexuality, people will just start opening to you. Like I will, like people who don't even know the work I do, I can be on public transport, I can be anywhere, and people will just start talking to me about their sexuality, because I'm just a space for people to feel safe inside of that experience. And so the way that I word this actually a lot to people is like, if you want to become the best self-pleasure practitioner, all you need to do is be so okay with other people inside of their sexuality. And the way you do that is to become so okay with your sexuality. So I don't have a story in my mind anymore that my sexuality needs to look a certain way, or be sexy, or not be emotional, or you know, not have double chins when I'm like lying down or whatever. It's like all of that stuff is just gone. And I'm like so deeply okay inside of my experience of who I am as a sexual being. And every time you sit and witness somebody inside of their sexuality, whatever that looks like, you learn more about what human sexuality really is, more than you will ever have learned anywhere else in your life. Because what we've been told is human sexuality is not what human sexuality is. So really just inviting you to really like drink these witnessing sessions up. Like do, like I say 1 a week, and that's like my minimum. Like for the people that I've seen that really like blow me away in this course, and I've go on to being the most, you know, well-paid, successful practitioners, are the ones that are actually like in there every week going, come on, let's do some more self-pleasure witnessing, and actually feeling what's going on in their body. Because when you're witnessing, you don't actually have to do anything. Almost the less you do, the better. The more you can just be a screen for that person to be in the fullness of their sexuality, the more they will actually open to you and come online. So if you are actually experiencing the fact of being, I don't know, bored, or like, I don't know what to do here, when you're witnessing somebody in self-pleasure, track it where the judgments are, track where you're not fully breathing into your sexuality. And another piece around the self-pleasure modality is that a lot of people have a concern about being turned on or in their arousal when somebody is in their self-pleasure, when they're witnessing a client's self-pleasure. And my piece for that is like, that is so welcome. The whole thing that when you feel your arousal come on, you don't want to go into an engagement with that on a horizontal level. You know, we don't want to go into, oh, I'm going to play into this and enjoy this with this other person. What you want to do is actually start to run that on the vertical current. Like the way that I've described this with people that find that really challenging is to really see yourself as a big tree and feel the roots going all the way down to the bottom of the earth, and allow the arousal to run all the way through your body from the center of the earth and all the way back down again. And it just allows you to actually feel the fullness of your sexuality as you're being with this person. And what you've got to trust is that whatever's coming up in your body is exactly what is perfect for this witnessing session. And as long as you're running everything on the vertical current and not coming into some sort of shadowy engagement with people, you're actually holding a very deep integrity of a practitioner. And the more you allow the truth of all your sensations to come online, the better you can be a practitioner. So I'm going to go deeper into this as time goes on, of course. And you're welcome to ask any questions. Actually, I would love that. So please drop me in the, like a message in the chat. I would love to hear from you about how this particular witnessing works. But at this stage, when you're jumping onto a call with someone, all you want to be doing is breathing and allowing your body just to actually reveal itself to you. And when you're witnessing that person, you actually want to be checking in with the sensations that are happening in your body before you go over and like analyze or think or worry or concern yourself with whatever the client is actually doing. Cool. I think that's everything. I mean, there's always more, and I'm like, I always want to share everything, but I want to leave it as concise as I can for today, and we'll dive deeper into how the witnessing part of this modality really is so profound. So thanks for watching, and good luck with your witnessing sessions, and send us all the questions that you have. Lots of love.